All right, there we go. We're live, apparently. That's a bit of a new... anyway, howdy everyone. There we go. Now we're live. Howdy everyone. It's No Quarter, episode 65. This one's called, I Can't Be Asked, thinking of an original title either. So we'll talk about the event horizon and all the other stuff that goes on. So blah, blah, blah. So the links in the YouTube chat if you want to come and join us. We'll say howdy to everyone who's here. So we've got Chuck, who's Arturian.
Hello.
There we go. Geordie.
Good evening.
We've got Watchman.
Hi, everyone.
The handsome Ross Crow, brought to you today by Yamaha.
That's correct. Good evening, everyone.
And I'm RB. So there you go. So I guess we'll start off with the raid, and you can all talk about what targets you're hitting, all that sort of stuff. I'll mute and then go over to YouTube. So take it away. Someone? Anyone?
All right, I'll start. I admit I blitzed the first day. I've got 59 million now, but I only blitzed the first day, so I got like 30-something million. And I really don't like the targets that the Nemesis has to go into because I was getting destroyed a lot. Next.
No, is it? Okay. I don't mind this event myself. Been hitting the 108, 110. I'm using the Saturn. I'm an auto type of guy. I don't even view. I click the 110. I click the 108. I use the Grease Monkey crew to knock it down the coin wise for the sets, and I think I did pretty good. I think let's see. I got to refresh the game, but as far as I can tell, I have all the prizes, and it's not too bad. I'm at like 4 coins a set if I just go straight, or 3 coins a set. I'm sorry, if I don't bring it back to the base at all. So in all in all, for the points that I needed, and that's in my realm of being okay. Being that I don't need a drive, I don't need to. The targets for me are too big, too long. I would hit a few of them if I were to actually drive, and I'd lose interest before I could complete this raid. So I'm glad this is exactly how I want them, because when they are such long targets and lack of fun for me, I want them autoable, and so they are in my case, in my situation with the fleet I'm using. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, I'll go next. Pretty much similar to you, Ross. Saturn's in the top set. I did try out, the set first of all. I was getting about 2.5, 3 hours repair on it, something like that. With me, U3 Saturns. I let it repair in normal time. Then I put a Grease Monkey crew on. Got another 10 million. Put me up to about 11, and then But since then, I've just been sort of doing one every few hours. Do one set every few hours for free repair. But yeah, I was getting, when I used the Grease Monkey, I was same as you. I was getting about 3 coin repair for a set. But now, I'm currently on about 22 million, just over. But I've got everything that I need, because I looked in my inventory, and I'm pretty well stocked up with like the countermeasures and all the other stuff. And there's no point in me going out and getting 100 million for stuff that I've not been using anyway,
Right.
So that's it really. About 22 million does me. I might go and get a couple of those cormorants, a couple more of those, but we've still got a few days left yet, and I can get them for free,
Yeah.
And that's it.
So I'm doing the S sets as well. I had a plan after the last raid and decided I was going to build the rock ring Saturn and get it to U3. So that was nearly the entirety of my last month's shipyard activity. And then I was going to combine a Nemesis with it, but of course I'd put the penetrative thingy on, and that matches your speed, so it was no good. It was going too slow to lead at to use as a lure for the rock ring. So I had to spend the first day just doing targets just with Nemis to get the tokens. So I built a brand new Nemesis with only 2 MDS3 on it, some very basic armor, plenty of speed and evade, and that was 10 days and 70 minutes. So use the 10-day tokens. So I'm using that with a rock ring and a normal Saturn, both at U3, and they are prepping out the ghost crawlers in all the targets and half the target of a 108. I follow up with my Nemesis. It's a bit of a prolonged process, but at the end of the day, it's instant base repair for both targets. And I can nip around and help members of my alliance who have only got Nemesis by blasting out the ghost crawlers in several minutes. It almost takes longer to wait for the retreat button to activate. That's allowed them to feel a bit more productive and less hammered for having the Nemesis. So I'm at about 22 million now. But because of the tokens I've had to buy, I'm still short of being able to buy the Praetorian flag, though I've got all the other new stuff. So as the weekend progresses, I'll help more people. That'll get me more points. I'll get everything I want. But totally agree with Ross that targets are very long.
Yeah, the rock ring certainly takes the ghost crawlers down so fast. I've seen quite a few videos and I watched you do it too, Geordie. It just whips them down so quickly.
Well, this is it. Before we've had a key fleet, one fleet that's outperformed the other. And let's not make any bones about it. It's a key ship that's changed this event. It's a friend of mine in the Alliance has a full fleet of Saturns, and he does around about 6 million damage on an Alpha strike from it. I've got one Saturn in the rock ring, and I'm doing 4.8 million just from those two. They demolish a ghost crawler in no more than 3 salvos, just from 2 ships, which is great for me because it saved me building 3 more. And if I do crash, which has happened quite several times already, entering a target and it's just gone dead, I've come back and those 2 ships alone have just about finished off its target. But you're looking at a 4-hour repair, and luckily it's happened at the end of days, so I can just leave it overnight. But if it had been 5 ships, it'd have been a damn sight longer repair. So I'm glad of that economy.
Yeah, you did say you were having a bit of trouble with the aura in the cloud, though, didn't you? Trying to differentiate between the two of them.
Yeah, trying to position the Saturns on the edge of the cloud when you're old and your eyesight isn't brilliant. That sort of salmony pinky grey colour they are, just it overlaps. It doesn't define at all well. You've got to base it on having the green arrow and whether your ship's hazy or crisp, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's if you just went on what you look at, you sometimes get them turning up, and they're shooting at your main fleet rather than your decoy. Maybe younger eyes don't have the same issues that I'm having.
I don't know. As far as auras go, that one, because generally auras you can see through, or they've done a pretty good job of that you can differentiate the edge of it or whatever. But those ones are fairly hard. So And I know we were talking about the edges of the clouds as well with these targets. It's always been a bit off. You think that you're covered and you're not, or you think that the other way around as well. So,
well, it's surprising when you're prepping out the ghost crawler on a 110, how far that ghost crawler can actually come into a cloud without engaging something.
Yeah.
In certain areas. So it's the clouds aren't necessarily representative of the area they actually cover.
Mm.
There's a couple of places where, as well, if you're not careful and don't drive wide enough, you lose the ships you're dragging around because you've actually gone into an area of cloud that's not denoted by a cloud, if you know that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because I've got Nemis, so I drive all the targets and don't. Well, I mean, it's a bit late now, but don't do what I do. Don't buy the upgrades and then think for a month that everything's sweet and you don't need to go back and look at those ships. Because when I went back to look at them, I'm like, damn, there's things I could have been doing all this time to make this fleet better. But I'm doing what I can. I'm sort of in the middle of getting my Stingrays out at the moment, so I'm at about 18 million, but I'm waiting till this Stingray gets out. I'm building some blanks for the XP, so I'm waiting for this to get out so I can go back and tweak my fifth ship because that's the one that's just getting hammered all the time. So there's a few things I can do there to try and fix that up a bit. So because I can't be bothered arsing in and out of clouds all the time, so I just put my head down and go for it. Really is generally the best way that I've found. So, and I'm I'll range between probably 4 and I have hit a couple of 5, so 4 and 9 coins for a set. But to me, these targets are actually fairly balanced. It's not like it's been for the other iterations of this cycle that we went from Nemis being king to Saturns being king to Nemis being king. This is pretty even. So they've done a fairly reasonable job in the 2 targets, I think. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not been too bad as far as I'm reasonably comfortable with it, but that's obviously because I spent the money on the upgrades. But the Ghost Crawler captains have certainly been doing some training over the last month. They've managed to up their turn speed and be a bit more clever in the way they drive.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind their maintenance, man, given my engine's the once over and a little tickle here and there to get that performance level up.
And certainly the turrets have had a bit of an update as well. So I don't know if it's priority targeting or there seems to be. I don't think it's just priority targeting because I think it's projectile speed as well. Because I did try running a bullseye brigade just for the hell of it because I could, and missiles are still getting through. So obviously they've done a bit of work there as well. So
yeah, I was going to get back to that. I was just waiting for Chuck to say how he was doing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably going to kill my Nemesis fleet in about 2 minutes. I'm going into a Saturn target, so...
Sorry, Chuck, go for it.
I'm just going into a Saturn target because I want the prize out of it. That is, if I get more than 1 shard. If I'm lucky.
Yeah, I went to try a couple of the other ones as well, and I think they've had a bit of maintenance done on those as well because I seem to be getting more damage than I was last time, which doesn't seem seem right. So it's like I know what the targets are, I know what's in them, but because I was trying to get the I don't know, whatever the new strike system is for the Nemis, to get some of those, given that you've only got a 1 in 4 chance now at the shards.
Okay, yeah, talking about the countermeasures and how well they're working or not. I had 2 missile defense system 3s on every hull, every SAM. I refitted 3 of them. I took the missile defense system 3s off, and I actually put sprints on, sprint countermeasures, and they seem to do a much better job of shooting down the turret missiles. You can physically see them, and I was taking a lot less damage after the refit. Fortunately, I had a few days of tokens. It took a bit. It's about 13 hours for the refit, which is annoying to use a 1-day token for 13 hours. But there was no other refits I could do on that ship anyway. They're fully ranked up. So I was taking much less damage after I did the refit. So
I heard that sprints were working okay.
Yeah,
That's great. That's good to know, actually. I mean, because these elite ones really aren't. They just aren't. I thought about even not just changing out and putting weapons, because I'm just not getting any real effect out of them.
That's what I've predominantly done, is put as many weapons on as I can.
How's everybody's game perform? I'm pretty glad I'm doing the auto thing, because I'm having performance issues again, for sure, on the lag situation. How's everybody else?
on the map, I'm getting lag, but when I actually get into the targets,
For sure.
it plays well, and I haven't had any issues in the actual targets. Fortunately, it was just on the map. Just trying to get the map and move around.
I haven't really noticed any map problems. I've only had 1 flash crash, and that was yesterday. So far, other than that, it's been pretty good for me.
I've seen some lag at peak hours, both on the map and flash crashes, and that old problem with Google just Chrome just locking you out and dropping flash player and then refusing to load it again. That's been a bit of a pain. But in battle, the performance hasn't been too bad, other than when lags increase, the effect of laying mines and mines blowing up really can cause a freeze that can cause issues with the Nemesis.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned it, because this is the laggiest raid I've had in a long time. I'm rubber banding all over the place, and that's kind of why I gave up with fiddling around with clouds and everything, because it's been pretty bad performance-wise for me. But and I've done all my speed tests and everything, and my speeds are pretty much normal, so it's not really sure what the problem is. But I did have a lot of problems with Flash and Chrome and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's been pretty ordinary.
I've got some pretty bad, performance issues. I know that was really their priority, is what they said that they were going to be working on. So I'm not seeing it. So that's all. But the rest is okay, because I'm able to auto the targets. But I think that's because I chose to build the Saturn and all that, and upgrade the Saturn. If I would have gone with that Nemesis, boy, I'd been in sad shape right now. I wouldn't have been a happy camper sitting in this chair. So I think it's some of what the choice. But I know that going into it, I don't count on the game running too smooth.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked
Go
the
on,
the
Mickey.
the Saturns. So I'm glad I picked the Saturns. It seemed to be, I think, the choice fleet out of the two in the long run. You know, and also that they're good in other things at the moment. You know, we know we're doing okay for titanium and stuff with them. So yeah, it's a nice fleet to have.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd have still been saying that had U3 for the rock ring not come along,
No.
because it was a load of gash prior to that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah,
was-
it changed it totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Cash cow until that point. I mean, it just drained you. You didn't even want to use it. The fleet, I didn't like the fleet. It was just an expensive fleet to use.
Fully upgraded Nemesis, and it's taking way too much damage. Either I built it wrong, or it's just a bad fleet.
Are you seeing where the damage is coming from? Is it the turrets? Is it the ships? Or
Well, I could tell you if I could end this 100, I cannot find one ship to kill. It is annoying.
Drive around in ever decreasing circles. So, because I was going to ask Ross, what's been the difference between this raid and the last raid for you? Was it the upgrade that you did, or was it because you had a fair bit of trouble last time, didn't you? From memory.
Yeah, I had a total bit of trouble. I did a total refit. I did a total upgrade. I did that $20 deal, and then I've refit also.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I'm doing much better.
yeah, I said for me, fortunately, I think it was only a $10. It was £8 something, £8.33, I think it was, to take them to U3 because I already had them up. I think all at U1 or something like that. So it was only $10. So, well, for me. And I looked at it and I thought that's a no-brainer, for £8. It's still a kind of a pay to play, but
But I didn't really change that much. To tell you the truth, the things that I changed wouldn't change the damage amount. So my fleet is doing better because I took the deal in the middle of the last raid. My same exact fleet is doing better this event than it did last event, and that's for sure on auto. And so I'm good
the
with
first,
that.
sorry, Ross. The first
Yeah.
thing that I noticed in the difference in saying between this and the last raid is the countermeasures wasn't working properly, and that's why I went in and did a refit, and I came back out again, and they seemed to be working a lot better, and I was taking about 20 minutes less damage, and that's over the course of a raid. That's quite a lot of time, So,
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And for prizes and all that sort of thing, are you guys happy with the, what's on offer, the costs of things, all that sort of stuff?
I like. I guess I don't have that many issues with it because I don't really need to gripe about every single part of the aspect of the game. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be positive, but I would like. I'd like some of the Conqueror Hull upgrade 1-day tokens. I could use some of those possibly added in the future raids. Not let's say limited a couple of each. You know what I mean? But we have like 11-day basilisk upgrades. Let's give us a couple day tokens out here and there. The ability to get them. They're not out there currently, and I think they should be in the raid. I don't want to see them added to added event to shipwrecks 10.0. There are raids here. That's a good place we could throw them in, or bounty because they are conqueror. But since we use them for defending, also I think that raid's an outstanding place for them, and so I'd like that added to it. The otherwise. I'm pretty happy with the general thing. I think that some of the armors need to be in check with the actual price point for comparatively to the new hulls. I mean, they're just they're real close to the total prices of a hull, so that's strange. So maybe just take a look at some of the armor price points, in my opinion.
I was going to say the glaring omission to me. We've got the Silverfish upgrade kits, but there's no upgrade tokens. I mean, because we're building the Silverfish, but we're also most of us are still finishing our Praetorians as well. I mean, still building those, and we've only got one shipyard to build them in, and so we've got to build them and upgrade them. So some upgrade tokens for the Silverfish would have been appreciated.
And likewise, some build tokens just for the Silverfish.
Yeah.
Or what you call a generic one.
Oh yeah, they the days of those are come and gone on those generic tokens. Boy, they hate giving those out. So I don't know.
Sorely missed those ones.
Yeah, we have to fight for them in the FM.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with everything that you've all said, because especially with the Conqueror tokens. So I'm not really that excited about bounty and all that sort of thing. However, having said that, I know that there's lots of people who are, and with the pressure of shipwrecks now, and like Ross said, 11-day upgrades. It's they've put the pressure on the Conqueror yard now as well. So it's you've really got to think about what choices you're making, and which events that you're going to actually try to compete in. And obviously, this is the next bounty is going to be pretty interesting, given that shipwrecks is going to be tied into that. So you've really got to decide, where you're spending your time and what you're going to put it into. So, yeah. And definitely also on the armors, like what's the corrosive one? I looked at it and I'm like, these guys have just not bothered, they've just put it in here. It's like 60K in the FM, and here it is for 5 million or 4 million or however much it is. And
yeah, just a lot.
Yeah, just way overpriced. And I know, like Damnation pointed out, that it's really leading people down the wrong path. That if they're spending hard-earned points on stuff like that, I guess it doesn't really matter if you're prepared to blitz or get 5 billion points. It's not really a problem. But for the people who are struggling to get points too, if they're not switched on, and it's that real, they keep on talking about transparency, but this is really pointing people in the wrong direction, in my opinion. And it's
right.
It's that shadiness that we've talked about before.
Right. And let's be honest, this is not the excuse me, the armors. In all honesty, they can just drop the price point on the armors, and I don't think they're going to really. They're not making that much cash straight. If you think about it, drop the dang price point on the armors, okay? So everybody can get it out there and get to use it. Now, the use of it is where I think that they get coin and repairs more than, I just don't understand why you don't want all these items out there to the small players, to make the smaller players' game run smoother, more enjoyable, more fun for them, because we need to keep those players going in the right track. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a tornado storm here. Okay. All right. So, but we need the lower players, moving in the right direction, and I think blocking them out from things, and is really the bad plan, because these guys that blitz everything, we're not concerned about them, but we are concerned about running out of people for them to farm. Honest to God.
I
You know
would.
what I mean?
Sorry, Ross. I would hold back on the armors anyway because on the 19th, they're releasing 3 new pieces of skirmish tech, and I believe a couple of those are going to be armors that are going to be more dedicated to the actual silverfish. So, I wouldn't start fitting any armor on any of your ships until next Wednesday onwards. I want to see what they release in the FM.
Yeah, I've got the BP next week ready to go. I did want to just say there, Ross, I commend your commitment and your priorities that the show is much more important than any tornado warning.
I'm under full tornado warning right now.
As he looks out the window.
I am.
Well, we always talk about things going viral, so not that I wish you to have a tornado, but hey, think of the ratings.
That's right.
That would be things going spiral, not viral, wouldn't it?
Nice one. Oh, that's pretty funny. Well done. All right.
I think, Ross, on your point on the repairs, coming from a background where I didn't coin for a long time and a lot of my alliance don't coin, the first place that people don't coin that I know is on the repairs. They would see that they're more likely to coin a build that will be successful and reduce their playing time repairs than they are to be going and repairing all the time. Because that will surmount to a larger cost over a period of time than investment in tech that works and keeps the running costs down.
Okay. I see your point. Yeah, I'm not really at that point. So I play differently than many. I'm not a whale coiner anymore. Or I think for maybe a year I was considered I would consider myself. Everybody has a different definition. But I still spend money on the game and rightfully and by choice. And I'm not one that actually is saying that I'm not getting value because I spend money. I mean, I choose how much I spend on here. I could hang out and play for free if I wanted and just use chat. I think so. All in all, I'm happier this month than I was last month. I'm not sure why. In all honesty, I'm not sure why. Game performance is dropped for me in the last month. So, but I'm not sure why. I'm not upset. I'm doing okay in the game. Wouldn't you, when everybody else? I mean, has your mood gotten better this last month or worse over the last month?
Mine's got better since I took the attitude of what will be, and if it gets too much, just walk away. If it doesn't, just carry on. Do what you can. I'm not concerned about getting everything. I'm just concerned about getting what I want and what I need.
Right.
I think the day of collecting is definitely over. It's been over for a while. Just play to however you want to play, and if your life doesn't have time to squeeze it in, then do life things. I mean, you can't be beholden to a game.
Correct.
Yeah, I used to, get everything, basically every prize, go mad in the past. But now, well, I suppose because I have done that in the past, I do have a lot of stuff in my inventory now, so I don't need to go that. I can pick and choose what I want in this particular raid, so I haven't got to go like hell for leather at it, I can take my time, which is nice, it's much more relaxed. And because I've got builds constantly going, there was no huge hurry to get anything,
Right. I'm in the exact same boat there. So what I need is a few tokens just to speed some things up because because I'm on such a slow pace now, because my shipyards are used for there. I don't see a site. There I don't see a break. So
Well, I'm building my third silverfish hull with 2 of the new weapons on. They worked out at 4 days and 1 hour. So I had a week's worth of tokens, and then another week's worth of FM tokens in the chests. So basically 2 weeks worth. So I've got the third hull building now, which has got 1 day, 17 hours left, but I've still got 3 days worth of tokens. So I'll get all 4 built, with 2 weapons on before the next FM starts. Basically, it should be, and more comfortably. And then I, see what comes out in the FM and what specials I decide to put on. Obviously next weekend we'll have VXP anyway, so I won't be putting any armor on before that.
Yeah, it is nice to see that these Gatling guns have got a pretty decent build time on them. So
yeah, I think they're around about 6 hours each, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Having said that, there's what, 8 or 10 weapon slots for them. So
yeah,
that's before you account for any discount with the if you've upgraded your weapons lab. You could be getting another 15% off that.
Yeah.
I think I've still got 1 upgrade left to go on that, and that'll be the next one. I've got an upgrade on the building finish in 6 hours, and then it'll be the weapons lab next. So
very good. All right. And is there anything else anyone wants to say about the event itself? Event Horizon?
Yeah, I was talking about my nemesis. I ended up taking 12 coin damage to that level 100.
Wow.
And I still couldn't find the last target. So I gave it to one of my ally mates and said, here, you need points? You find the damn target. It took him about 5 minutes to do so.
And was it one of the subs?
Yeah, it was one of those little cloaked hidden subs.
Yeah. Have you got the
sonar? I only put it on my flag.
Okay.
So I had at least one that could spot things.
Yeah, I haven't had that much trouble finding them, but I guess if it's floating around in one spot and you're over the other side, it could take a while. So, all right, very good. So moving on, obviously with the silverfish, we're going into the skirmish cycle next month. So there was a post on that the other day that Chris put up, and let's go to Golden Doodle. I almost said Guden Doodle. Must be the Swedish takeover that's happening. Anyway, never mind.
That made me think of the Swedish chef from the Muppets.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the first time I've been accused of not having a tongue that works, but anyway. So the seasons are shorter, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit more, but so are the build times. So the full builds take around 30% less time to build than other recent PvE builds, and the bulk of those cost reductions are in the new components. Each season now has a primary hull and a specialized hull. This one is the Silverfish. So it'll take you through the full season and can be used to tackle any of the other targets that you face. The specialized hull is coming out next month, is less powerful and even more inexpensive to build, but is designed for a unique purpose in the season. And then once the season's over, the skirmish targets will continue to pop up as in raids at lower tiers, so you can still earn points with your fully completed skirmish fleets after the skirmish season has concluded. And they believe that these changes will ensure that you're always in a position to make good decisions in what they invest to, that you can tackle any of the challenges ahead of you. and that your ships continue to have a clear purpose. So, and that you're not left behind. So, has everyone seen this? Has you got any thoughts or opinions or anything like that?
Well, I just think it's too many fleets again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I'm scrapping stuff again to make room for the Praetorians and the Silverfish and stuff, and the Gorgons and anything else they're going to throw at us. And it's how long now? What's the life cycle really of a fleet? Because sometimes we're bringing back old ships that we was using last week in the other event, and I was using what they were a year old or so, and they're actually working better than the primary hulls, and I was doing that for free. So
yeah, I think you'll see that change in the next village, though.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to know, you don't want to throw away them holes, and which I know some people had done. They had scrapped them, and and they weren't able to do it that way. And this is it. It's like which holes do you throw away again?
To me, it looks like they're setting up the targets to look like how we do pillage, and you have a different fleet for each different target. Well, as we go into the next couple of cycles, those previous raids will become the next target down, and the next target down, and all our fleets that are going to sit idle will become those fleets to use. That's the quote longevity that Chris is talking about.
Yeah, I know. There's been a few players that are worried about this, and I'm certainly, the same way. And it would be helpful if Damnation was on here because he lives on Discord, so he knows a bit more of what's going on. But there were apparently lots of conversations about this, but I guess my biggest concern is how this is all going to flesh out, because if they keep the current way of doing things, we would have the start raid, and then we'd have to have like a 6-day raid or something like that. If it's only a 2-month cycle, it's like I just don't know how they're going to do it, and it seems to be putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on themselves, because they've got to come up with new targets, they've got to come up with how the ships interact in those targets, and it just seems like it, we talk about quality already, so it's like it seems to me like there would be even less quality. And they've said before many times that once a target goes out onto the map or whatever, that they don't worry about going back and retuning it, because it is what it is. So we could potentially see if they drop the ball for one cycle, which again, without being mega critical, we've seen it happen. It's historical, so it does happen. So it does make me worry that this is, could be leading us down a pretty bleak path.
Well, I haven't checked yet. How long is the upgrade? Is it the 11 days again for these hulls?
For what?
For the Silverfish. Is it 11 days for the upgrades?
Well, it should be. It should be the same as the other ones. So you 1 and a bit day, or it's at 1.1, 2.2, and 3.3 or something for each hull. So if they stick with that pattern.
Yeah. And you've got to get all this done in 2 months, yeah?
Well, I mean, you don't have to anymore, because they're just going to do a $20 deal.
Yeah.
Because I know when Ross was talking before about, the mood of the game and that sort of thing, you know, it has taken a bit of pressure off now that I know that I don't need to try so hard, because, you know, if it all turns really bad, I've always got the option of doing that. Not that I want to do that, but, you know, I guess that option's there.
Right.
But, you know, for you know, a new hull to come out that we haven't even used yet, and it's like, well, here's all the upgrades for it as well. It's like, I don't know. They've really gone upgrade crazy, and I think we are going to run out of time, you know, one way or the other. It's, you know, I don't know haven't played with the total build for a silverfish yet, but I'm guessing it's around, you know, even with the reductions, it's still probably going to be, you know, 12 or 14 days or something. So
at least I did one with like the current tech, and it was about 18 and a half, 19 days, you know, I think. So, you know, but they are saying that the new armor will be lower, you know, that they're going to release. But
There's supposed to be 3 items in the FM next week.
that's right.
yeah.
They didn't say the armor.
If you look at the top,
I think they did.
if you look on the, you know, he's got it highlighted here. Oh,
I just flicked over. Oh no, yeah, 3 new pieces of skirmish tech. Yeah.
then go back. Then go back. Now on the first bullet point, it's got the bulk of cost reductions are the new components themselves, especially the armor has been released in the FM.
Yep.
And that says armors plural. So there's
So you'd think there'd be a concussive one and an explosive one.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
And then another special, which would probably be like a critical or something like that, I guess.
Maybe a concussive engine, sort of, you know, special.
Yeah.
You know, the concussive resistance or whatever it's called now. Because we haven't got one of those, have we?
Only the dual one that we've already got.
Yeah.
It could be the pod one they took out as well.
Sorry, Bite?
It could be the pod one they took out as well.
Yeah.
Look, welcome, Simba.
Hi, Herms, everyone.
Hi, Simba.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Simba.
Doing okay.
Yeah, I just woke up.
All right.
I think we've when we talk about the upgrade and the ship build, we've adopted the terminology and the viewpoint that is expected and wanted. The reality of it is while ship build times are dropping, the time to build a fully functional top-end fleet has increased.
Right. Right.
Because of the upgrades, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's a ship build by another name, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ship build the build time has gone way, way up. They just renamed it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I mean, totally. Way up. And we're really not getting, I mean, I don't never mind. I'm not getting that much better of a fleet for my $20 than I had before, really, right? I mean, realistically, well, couldn't we have just kept it the other way? I mean, I don't know. But it is what it is. But I just, yeah, as long as as they know, we know this is build time. That's all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Build time. We know it. Yeah. You know, that's all. So something like you're going to need tokens or something.
The current design that I have for Silverfish is based on the bat fleet that I have, and it comes out at 17 days with armor on.
Okay.
That's not allowing for the improvements you could have done in the meantime to your various labs to further reduce, or by it doesn't also allow for your improvement from your OP being at 31, does it? Because that can knock up to 20% off.
Correct.
Yeah, I've only got one lab right now going to 30 and haven't touched anything else yet.
Right.
Go on, Jordy.
I was just going to say, while I had my tin hat partially cocked on there earlier, do you not think it's highly coincidental that this two event cycle has come around on skirmish, and now that you have to use assault fleets to do anything but the top tier, whereas had it changed over and become a two event cycle, and we use skirmish throughout, what would have been the case? The case would have been, because of the bat ray miss issue, everybody would have been able to achieve something.
Yeah.
Whereas they do it this way, not everybody's going to be able to achieve. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was a reset point to move back to a 3 or 4 raid cycle to put it more in line with quarterly reporting. And it kind of a financial boon to them at the same time, because they're not allowing everybody to profit from the bat ray mess up. Because it would have been had it been all skirmish throughout the targets, then people with the bat rays would have maybe been able to do the B sets, certainly the C sets, and would have ground their way away and achieved a lot of prizes over the whole period. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as I say, that's tinfoil hat on.
No, it makes perfect sense. They gave away bat rays, and then they don't want people playing for free, using them or winning points for free without having to build something new. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a certain video out that shows the latest fleet performing in the Scourge daily mission, and it doesn't do as well as bat ray.
Oh.
Obviously, it's not built to full spec because full spec isn't available yet, but it's still pretty disheartening. There isn't a big jump in the performance for a brand new ship over the last one.
Well, that's the thing, and they certainly say that the targets are designed for the new ship and blah blah blah, and you wouldn't you can't necessarily expect to see better performance. But I know again, historically, if you'd done that, taken the new fleet into an old target, you'd have 5 seconds repair or something like that. So it's definitely disheartening to see that. So it does make me wonder a little. And I guess the other thing too, that we are only talking about the silverfish, so we know that there's still the flagship to come, because it says it in the blueprint that there's I think it's a steel silverfish or something effect.
Steel plate silverfish.
That's the one. Yep, that's the one. So we know we've got to fit that in there sometime. And I'm not giving anyone any ideas, but it does make me also curious whether the specialized hull, whatever that's called, whether that's going to have upgrades as well.
Yeah, but I'm still building the bloody Praetorians.
Yes, exactly. And you've got a Praetorian flag to build as well.
Yeah.
Well, there's no pressure on that, because the FM targets aren't changing for this month, so it's your lowest priority, the Praetorians and and the flag for it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's taken a back seat now. Obviously, it's get the the FM, get the raid fleet done, but yeah, it's it's still a lot to get through one shipyard in the amount of time they're
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And of course, with interceptors and conquerors both being relevant in bounty and both having upgrade streams that can only be done in the conqueror yard, you've now got an interceptor and a conqueror and or defender stream going all the time there in that yard, plus a raid fleet and an FM fleet to do in your ordinary yard. So we've now got 4 streams on the go and 2 yards. It's time to ask for another form of yard, really. I know that we'll get giggles everywhere, but for want of a better phrase, some form of dry dock for upgrade.
It's gone the old double D. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Let's
this
call
upgrade
it the interceptor yard.
yeah, well, this upgrade thing. I mean, it used to be done in the what was it? You've got retrofit lab,
Yeah.
and you've got the foundry. There was 2 places it could have been done, but of course that would mean we could get them done in time, possibly. So why not put it in the already overloaded shipyard?
Yeah.
That'll please everyone.
That ship sailed because they've they've said quite clearly that was all very deliberate. And then if you want to go tin hat again, it's like it's all tied to these performance bonuses and the company's sold at the same time. So this is the way that they're going to make those performance payments. They're going to get that extra 30 mil no matter what. So. And I was kind of hopeful that we'd see less pressure, but it would seem that there's going to be even more pressure.
But some of the player base have responded well to it and are helping with those figures quite considerably.
Yes. We hope that hopefully they're the ones that went out like I did and bought shares, so they can just do that. I'm only bullshitting. I didn't buy any shares because they do seem to be fairly, I wouldn't say volatile, but they're certainly up and down if you look at their performance with the acquisitions that they're doing and that sort of thing. So, but anyway, never mind. And as Geordie quite rightly pointed out, the good news out of all of this is that there is no change to the FM so far. So, we're pretty happy about that. I'm kind of interested to see what the new Howler campaign is going to be as well. So obviously they've decided to go upgrades for Howlers. So
yeah, great.
I thought we would see skirmish, like something for the bats for other players who don't have the free bats to get them.
But why would you need them?
Some players don't go for silverfish; they want to go for the cheaper fleets.
Well, but it's not going to be relevant in the new format,
Right.
because there's going to be no targets for the bat rays for at least 2 of the cycles, is it? It's going to be assault fleets, so you need to be finishing off your Saturns or Nemesis to have a fleet to be able to hit down if you don't have the top fleet completed in time. So your skirmish fleet that you build for hopefully to have completed by the end for the end raid, the tech store raid in this cycle, will then be the fleet that does the SSRBs and all the rest of it and collects your uranium on the map. So your bat rays will become redundant. But by the time we get round to skirmish again, bat rays will probably be at the level where they're hitting the 40s only.
True.
do you think just on that they would change the SSRBs?
Well, they'll have to at some point. You know,
Yeah,
because
I was going to say that I wondered how they perform in the SSRBs. You know, obviously no one knows yet until they get a full fleet built. But
as tech advances, the targets become easier to that tech, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, under the guise of increasing the challenge, they'll up the damage, etc.
Yeah, that's true. Because
And
I guess
it's no bad.
they have to change them that much. They just need to change the damage, I guess. Change the number. Interesting times ahead. So, and I guess the other thing with this is that be prepared for it to be an absolute monster of an FM, because if there's 3 specials that you need to get, and then your tokens and the other things that you don't have, it's, we're going to be talking 20 bazillion points to get. But
you're going to be looking long and hard to find a 120 out there. Everybody's going to be after them, aren't they?
Yeah.
I've noticed that there's more 121 spawning than there are 120s.
Yeah, I know we talked about that the other night, that was a way of making it harder as well as to cut that spawn down. What were you going to say, Geordie? Sorry.
I think if you kill a 120 as well, doesn't a 120 replace a 121 replace it? A lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, you're right, because it's got the option of what it spawns again, doesn't it? Interesting. Did you have anything you wanted to add to all of this, Simba?
I don't know what you gone over and what you haven't. So I know I've got my skeleton of this new hall building. I've just been busy prepping.
Yep. Well, that's basically all that we've talked about, was the raid and just the new cycle, that sort of stuff.
All right.
How many points you on, Simba?
Hold on. 100 mil.
Oh, okay.
Do we expect anything less from her?
Yeah.
I got back Wednesday night. I was on vacation. Right before the beginning of the raid.
We know you're an overachiever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on 22, and I need at the most another 10 million just to pick up the tokens for the upgrade tokens. For the silverfish, which I think that's 10 million, isn't it, for those? So, and I can get that easy between now and the end. So.
Oh yeah, it's easy enough to get.
Yeah, I know. I got confused as to where we were up to, and I knew it was the last raid of the cycle, but the penny didn't drop, and I was like, oh, hang on a sec. There's still days of this left to go. I can just take my time and do other things, and now I'm don't have to try particularly hard. So
I've just been getting used to the kittens and everything. So.
Well, that's it. I mean, them nutgrove tokens are not going to get used for a long time, because I've got to build the ships first before I even think about, upgrading anything on them. Or doing perform any upgrades,
But the good thing is, if you are, if you don't have the fleets and you are grinding, at least it does give you something to get some decent amounts of points to get the new hull and the new tech, which is going to be pretty important going forward. So, because I saw someone the other day say they were going to miss the next cycle, and I'm like, oh well, I don't know if that's particularly a very wise move, because you're only cutting your arm off basically. So everyone's different.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people say I think that's just the pressure of all the builds getting to them. It's wearing them down.
Yeah, very understandable, for sure.
And then because of the length these targets are taking them, they don't want to spend a long time building a fleet to then have to spend a long time driving that fleet.
Mm.
And in all honesty, if for longevity, we might want to. I'm not. I don't know if that's such a bad idea for those players that don't care to keep up.
Mhm.
You know, because it's got to be disheartening to never be able to complete a fleet. And now with all these upgrades, you're really not feeling that you're going to be able to complete fleets. You know, so maybe over 2 cycles they could complete one. I don't know.
Mm.
It seems like possibly.
Well, it'd be pointless if they were to release a second ship in a series. With it being 2 cycles, when you're going to have time to build it.
Well, that's happening. I mean, but that's already it's happening.
Well, where that comes into its own, really, is in the catch-up mechanism. It allows those players who are behind at this stage and haven't quite finished their Saturns or their NEMs to carry on building their NEMs and Saturns or Saturns till the new ship's released, and then build that, because it's a lower build time, to have some success at S set level and maybe something for map target. But it's not allegedly not going to perform as well. It's going to be more specialized. So it gives them. That's the only logic I can see it. You know, or for those people that have built everything and just want something to build. But other than that, your average player is not going to need both.
Mm. Yeah, I guess you could take that punt that, you know, that you do miss out on the silverfish, knowing that you've got the specialized to follow, but you'd want it to, you know, it would have to be then a 9-day ship all up, and then you're still going to run into issues because you're still only going to have 2 built before the last straight of the cycle. So
I must admit, in this one, I mean, I haven't. That's. I mean, I haven't hit that many. You know, not been going mad with it because I just found the targets big. You know, they're like I think Ross was saying. You know, the targets are slow to do, and it can be quite boring. You know, I think after last week where I was doing the pillage and I was hitting the 81s and the 60s threes, and you know, I only had to drive in the 63s, and I was auto in the 81s and the auto in the 80s. Sorry, and the 63s I could do in about a minute, just over a minute at each target, and it was lovely. You know, it was fast. You know, the turnaround was so quick, and you didn't mind it. You know, because even though you was getting like smaller at only 1/4 of the amount that you'd get if you was hitting the higher level, you could do them so fast. So I actually thought it was actually quicker than doing the main targets, you know, and for less damage. But this time, as I said, these targets seem to be, and maybe it's because of last week, they just seem that big and slow again. You know, it's like it isn't fun. You know, this is it. It's the fun factor, isn't it? You know,
Pillage is tuned really well.
Hmm.
Regular raids, their tuning sucks.
And God help us when these become the titanium map targets. Can you imagine that? 30 or 40,000 a time trying to fill up on titanium doing these. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so I know we've talked about that before, that the titanium payout's just woeful, and it really needs to be brought back in line with what we're building and what we're being asked to build, especially now with the upgrades as well, because, you know, if you looked at the total of everything that it's costing you to build a Corsair or a frigate, you know, and then upgrade it, it's, you know, it's just craziness, the amount that it's costing you to do it. So, because that was part of the thing that I did, thinking that my, you know, the mistake that I made was that thinking my Nemis were fine, and I didn't really need to worry about them. So I was building the Corsairs in my normal shipyard because I didn't think that I had this pressure going on to save the grinding out of titanium. But it's sort of bitten me a little bit, but it's not too bad, I guess. Very good. All right. Well, we've been waffling on for a while now. So, is there anything else anyone wants to finish up on before I pull the plug?
No.
Speaker.
No.
Very good. All right. Well, I guess then, good luck with your raid, everyone. I hope it continues on and you get what you want to get. How has anyone got the game open? How much longer have we got on this? 2 days or something? 3 days?
2 days, 22 hours, 48 minutes.
How
3
many
days,
seconds?
48 minutes.
2 days, 22 hours, 48 minutes. So almost 3 days left. Yeah.
Depending on which world you're in, of course. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in World 2 sort of thing. So, Peter.
Yeah.
Alpha's 2 days, 21 hours, 59 minutes.
Yeah. So we've got a fair bit of time to achieve stuff. So hopefully you'll do well at it and get out of it what you want, and hopefully there's some sort of enjoyment factor. I always like blasting through these targets, whistling Benny Hill in the back of my head. So I just have everything chasing me, which seems to be a reasonable sort of strategy. So yeah.
And happy Father's Day out there to everyone. By the way, all the fathers do it tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, that's unusual. Your Mother's Day is different to ours, but your Father's Day is the same.
Yes. And so is this.
Just about to ask that. Sorry, Ross, go on.
Is it the same in America, where on Mother's Day, Mum gets a lie-in and everybody takes her breakfast, and on Father's Day, everybody jumps into bed with Dad and say, "Where are you taking us for Father's Day?"
Yeah.
I think that's a worldwide one, even though, see, our Father's Day down here isn't until September. So there you go.
All
But
right.
yeah, happy Father's Day, everyone. Very good. All right. Well, I am going to pull the plug. So hopefully we've spoken about some good stuff, and hopefully you've all enjoyed it. To whoever disliked the video before it even started, screw you.
Really? Wow.
Oh well, why the hell not? I can say it. What's going to happen? We get another thumbs down? Oh, my heart's broken. Anyway, very good. So we'll see you all next week. Good luck with your raid. Hope it all goes well, and we'll say see you later.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.